Hey, good morning, small business owners. Welcome to Monday Morning Metrics. My name is Rebecca Berneck. I'm the founder and big head of Office Heads. Every Monday morning at about 10:30 a.m. Central Time, I get on Facebook Live to talk about financial management. I pose a question, we talk about finances with the goal of operating a financially healthy company. Thanks for joining me this morning. So today we're going to talk about this kind of a part two of what we talked about last time. We're talking about the track map, which is what to do when and why when it comes to financial management. Now, last week, we talked about bookkeeping tasks, what you should be doing on a daily basis and on a semi-monthly basis. So this time we're going to go beyond that and think of it more of what you should be doing with your CEO hat on and also an accounting hat, because it's less about bookkeeping and the transactions and more about what are you going to do with the reports that are created from the transactions that were entered into your books. So I'm going to start with what are the So the question is, what financial tasks do I do throughout the year? So I'm going to start with the things that you do annually. So once a year, annually. And let's go kind of chronologically with the calendar. So in January, you're focusing on, these are some deadlines from the powers that be, the government. So in January, you're going to focus on your payroll tax forms. What that means are your 1099s and your W-2s. Usually the due date is the last day of January. And so you need to close your books, make sure all of your books are good for all the 12 months of the year, and then generate and send out your 1099 reports. Your 1099 forms and your W-2 forms. Now, if you have a great payroll processor, which we highly recommend, Gusto, they will do it automatically for you in terms of the W-2s and the 1099s if you run your contractors through your payroll processor. However, there still are some vendors that need some manual work. And so there's something called the 1099 Wizard in QuickBooks Online, and that should be done actually more than one time a year, but the actual generation of the forms need to get out in January. So once you have that done in January, then you have February. So in February, you should focus on your CPA tax package. So what that means is, hey, you've closed out your books. You know that it's accurate because you know your books are accurate because you've sent out your 1099s and your W-2s based on that information. Really, all you need to do now is gather everything that your CPA needs to be able to prepare your tax returns. So that's a copy of your QuickBooks file, your financial reports, and also copies of statements for the end of the year because they're going to do some double checking. So by the time February, and if you have the time, try to do it by the 15th of February, get your package, all one nice tight little package to your CPA so they can focus on preparing your tax return. So then in March, that's when your corporate tax returns are going out. So you're going to be working with your CPA answering any questions. Now at Office Heads, if our CPA partners ask 5 questions or less, we've done a good job. That means we keep really tight books. So let's hope that you're keeping really great tight books, and the information that you send to your CPA will make it very easy for them to prepare your tax returns, which brings your bill down for your CPA. So that's March for your corporate tax returns. I might as well throw in April, get your personal tax returns done because that's the deadline. I don't believe in extensions unless there's a strategic reason to file it. So it shouldn't be because your books are a mess, and it shouldn't be because your CPA has other things to do and working on other things. So have a really great relationship with your CPA. Get them a very nice, clean package with clean books and get your tax returns prepped. Okay, so the next thing that you do annually, which is really kind of one of my favorite things to do, is in the fourth quarter, year end, come up with a strategic plan. So review your entire operations, revenue, cost of goods, and everything that you spend on operationally, and come up with a strategic plan for the next 12 months. So you're planning in the fourth quarter for what you're going to do for the next 12 months. Well, since we do everything through the lens of finance, we do that through a budget. Now, some people don't like the word budget. They're afraid of it. It's like, oh, I'm going to be limited in what I can do. No, you're the business owner. So you come up with, I'm going to make this much money. I'm going to spend this much money to make that money. And this is what I need to spend operationally. And how much am I going to profit? This is what I want to profit. And this is my strategic plan with a strategic checklist of what you're going to do in order to meet your numbers. So by the end of the fourth quarter, you know what you have marching orders of what you and your staff are going to do for the next 12 months to meet your numbers. Now that's the basis. You've got this budget. That is awesome. So those are the things that you do on an annual basis. So next I'm going to talk about, let's do monthly. So I want to put my accountant hat on now. So you've got your bookkeeper who's doing all of the bookkeeping stuff. And then once a month, you reconcile all of your accounts. And reconciliation is super important because what that does is it ensures that the numbers you have in your QuickBooks match the numbers that the bank says that you have. This is to catch any errors, any double entries, anything that could possibly happen. And reconciliation is really important because once you're reconciled, the next thing you do on a monthly basis is review your financial reports. My favorite is a profit and loss statement. Do your profit and loss statement by month so you can see monthly trends. Compare it to the budget that you did in fourth quarter last year. Compare it to the month prior. Compare your numbers for the previous month to the last year. Your profit and loss is an excellent report. And once you know that all of your transactions and everything are accurate and you're starting to understand that report and you're comparing it to your strategic plan, that's where you are proactive and you're moving your company along. So what else do you do on a monthly basis? Invoices. I believe if you invoice on a regular basis, people will pay you on a regular basis. So first of the month is a great day to just do all of your invoicing. And if you've got automated processes, it should happen nicely in the background. Now, I understand that there are some businesses that might want to invoice as you go, or you're more on a contract basis where you invoice when projects are done. Of course, there are ways that you need to tweak this, but if you can automate your invoicing, invoice one time a month, boom, that's a monthly thing. So you've got your annual down and you've got your monthly down. So that's kind of your small pocket of what did I do last month? What am I going to do this month? But on a quarterly basis, what should you do every quarter? So let's go back to that January 1099. You have to get your 1099s out. So one of the worst parts of 1099s is making sure you have accurate information from your contractors. That's a W-9 form. So make sure that you get all those forms from your contractors. And we like to check that every quarter because the last thing you want to do in January is go, oh my goodness, I have a handful or 20 or 30 contractors and I don't have their address. I don't have their corporate ID. I don't have their social. So every quarter, if you run the QuickBooks 1099 wizard, it will tell you where you have missing information. You do that on a quarterly basis. Come January, you're really only looking at the previous 3 months and you can get those 1099s out without having to pull your hair out. So that's one thing that you do on a quarterly basis, and that's more tactical. Then what you want to do is do some analysis. The same analysis that you did on a monthly basis when you're checking your P&L compared to previous month, previous year, do it, you grab it on a quarterly basis. How did I do this quarter? Now you're really comparing it to your strategic plan. Do you need to shift? Are there things that happened in that quarter that may have changed things? You want to measure your goals and reset and recalibrate your goals if need be on a quarterly basis. So you're not really doing it in adjusting the trajectory of your company every month. You're doing it on a quarterly basis. Then, of course, also if you're distributing your profit, you do that on a quarterly basis. So you get to distribute. You take that profit and you decide what you're going to do with it. We'll do this on a different Monday morning metric on what you should do with your profit. Profit is a beautiful thing, and you should be purposeful in operating your business so you have that profit, and then taking that profit and being purposeful and strategic on what you're doing with that extra money. That's it. So you know what you're doing on an annual basis, on a monthly basis, and on a quarterly basis. So let me reiterate one more time the importance of that end of the year budget. Have a plan for that next year so then you can measure yourself against what you wanted to do. Did you want to double revenue? Did you just want to up it a little bit? Did you want to hire somebody or move? How are you going to do that financially? And are you meeting your goals? And do you need to adjust along the line? With this particular part of running your business, this is where you start running it proactively and your business is not running you. Because I know that some of us out there are, you feel like you're being led around by your company. By having a plan and implementing that plan through the lens of numbers, you become the person who's running your own business, that true strategic CEO. So there you go. That's the end of the track map. Now you know what and how, and not how, but what you need to do on a daily basis, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, annually. You're good. This is how you do financial management. Now you just have to be disciplined to put it into place. So thank you very much for joining me for Monday Morning Metrics. Please comment below. I didn't see any comments today, but I'll answer any comments later on throughout the week. If you have any specific topics that you want to cover, please enter them in the comments and I'll throw them into a future Monday Morning Metric. Thank you so much for joining. Have a fantastic and profitable day.